All right, you've got your handouts, and I want you to turn to this thing called the dashboard, because the staff calls it the dashboard. This is one of the inner workings that Lakeland Church does. It's relatively new, and it's a snapshot of the weekly trends of our church. Now, the most important point on this graph down here, which talks about our attendance, is that little bitty dot right there. Can you see that looks like a pencil dot? All right. That's September of this year compared to the years in the past. So we're going to be, maybe next week, October's dot will be right here, and it will begin to trend. So what we can see immediately is that Lakeland this year is trending 20% higher than in years past. Praise the Lord. That's exciting. It's a little bit like this house with these many people here. It's wonderful, it's exciting, but after a while we're going to get pretty uncomfortable. And I mean uncomfortable being, visitors will come into our church and there won't be a spot for two people. We'll have to go someplace else. We will have to be going to the overflow as submission, and that's fine, that's great. But if a family of four came in now, they couldn't sit together. And that's kind of where we're at Lakeland right now, just very similar to this. And we may not be uncomfortable this year, we may not be uncomfortable next year, but if we want people to continue to come and have ministry space, we're outgrowing it. Praise the Lord. That's excellent. This handout that you have here is a miniature of these two groups of easels that I have. Scheme A and Scheme C are right here. These are ideas, I'm going to put this back up, of what we might do to our church to accommodate our current expansion. And when we say expansion, my lovely wife and I have grown from hoping Associate Pastor and Youth Leader Dan Warehouser would stick around so our kids could go through him, into having our kids be adults now, into Seth Fagerlin coming in and blowing the gym out with the amount of kids that we're having. So we're really doing this neat thing. Scheme A and Scheme C, I'm going to give you a little information. Both of these schemes are a little under, and Dan will pull this out for you, but a little under $1 million, about $900,000. Scheme A does some changes here in the foyer, so it's a little bit larger and accommodating, but we change our overflow, and we also change a lot of the gymnasium right now that's open, and we really would like not to do that because we use that so effectively. But that's some of the main changes of Scheme A. Up here you can see sanctuary chairs 368, overflow 109, total 480, so just about 100 more than what we have now. Scheme C, a little bit bigger, a little bit more expensive, a little bit more seats, but the biggest change here is this complete walk around. This is right past the nursery on this side if you follow my hand, and then this would flow all the way through and be a neat walk through with classes built out here. We'd lose some parking spaces, but we still fall well within the number of 600 which we currently have. In other words, we can accommodate 600 people here with the parking we have, so we're in good shape. All right, property. This property is on Rollins Road, and this border on this side here, picture Route 45, and Lowe's is over here, Grand Avenue is up here. This would be Route 83. This is Carillon North, senior community. And if you took this road and went up to Hook Street and came right over here, you'd get to Mary and Brian Romack's house. Okay? All right. We've been looking at a number of properties. The priorities had to be that they were highly visible, that they were not too far away. Highly visible meaning a well-trafficked road. We didn't want it tucked away like we have here on Hunt Club Road. We didn't want it too far away from Lakeland, and it's about 6.5 miles. And we wanted 25 buildable acres. What we're looking at is parcel number 1, which is 5 acres. It's all buildable. There's a home here, a detached 2-car garage. This white thing is a gravel turnaround. 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 are this. This is one owner, number 1. 2, 3, 4, 5 is one other owner, but it's held in trust. And these green lines are PIN numbers for taxes. Okay, so they're, when you look at it, they're specific tax identifiers. All right. Number 2 actually looks a little bit like a panhandle of Oklahoma. It actually has these that are involved in this group. This brown stuff up here is Fourth Lake. It's kind of swampy, it's kind of cat-tailed, where you can't build back there, but they come with the purchase. So what we're trying to do with this parcel of land is purchase 2 and 3, and it will be parts of 4 and 5, and that's approximately 25 acres, with 16 of those buildable. And this parcel here, 5 buildable acres. So this is called assemblage. Somewhere down the line, we might be interested in 6 and 7 if it is available. Right now, this property is in Lake Villa. This is Grays Lake, and the utilities that service this would be coming across the street, and so the annexation would be into Grays Lake. Okay, so the property is currently Lake Villa. If God should will it, and it works in our favor, the utilities which are closest comes from Grays Lake, and that would require hearings, public hearings, and annexation. All right, the other property, if you come back here, come back in our house, is if you went out to Hunt Club Road and turned south or turned right, and you went to Gages Lake. There's Bobby's Golf Range out there on the corner, of the northeast corner of that corner. Then we're in discussion with Bob Peterson about his property. Much more visible, a little bit larger, all buildable, a little bit pricier, but God can do things. And so we're happy to be in discussion. All the other properties that we've looked at in the area haven't responded back to us, or they've been way out of line price-wise. Primarily they haven't responded to us because we'd like to be in dialogue. Got a call from this guy just yesterday, and we'll know more about it tomorrow. And hopefully we will have another contract or some sort of letter of intent with this property. But we cannot do anything and will not do anything until a congregation approval and a vote. Okay, so I know we're keeping you abreast of all of it, but in our Constitution, when we purchase land, approval has to be done. So that's kind of where we're at. So we're looking at Bobby's Golf Range and this as being similar, visible, not far from the lake.